Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's about 3:30 p.m. It's July 7th, 2020. Did you miss me? It's been a long weekend. It's been fun. A lot of good stuff going on. And before I get into any of this, of course, let me just go ahead and just say the usual. This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few things here on the charts. A few things that I do want to point out. I want to take a look at the longer term here. I also want to take a look at potentially what I think could be happening with the charts. So let me get my chart up here in handy, and we'll go ahead and move right into things. All right, we're just waiting for this to come up. All right, so with Bitcoin, I've got a lot of indicators that I've got to wait to get them loaded. Things are running a little slower for me today here. Um, I guess we'll kind of go in. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. All right, let's just take a look here from the top, working our way down. All right, so we've got our top up here. Um, And so what I have a hard time digging out is a real good count right here. First off, BitMEX had a really big sell-off, so I'm putting my one all the way over here because I think that this is more in line with what the market actually did. I think this makes a lot more sense. And when you're looking at this from the top, you can see we've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good diagonal. You've got good geometry on this as well, with the exception of this big wick down right here. We have a bottom here, we've got a bottom here, we've got a bottom here. It just made a whole lot of sense. And then of course, when you take it from up here, work your way down, we did have a little bit of a falling wedge effect here. So this seemed like the geometry looked really good for this to be potentially a leading diagonal into a 1. Okay, so I've changed this around a little bit, calling this a 1. And then we've got a nice ABC up here into the 2. So let's just look at this as well. So let's just dive into what this looks like, because this seems to work itself out pretty well. Let's just go ahead and tag the bottom of this here. We'll go up here to the top. Okay. What did we have? We had a pull back to the golden zone. This is perfect. All right. So let's just zoom in on this here. We're going to take a look at this right here. Okay. So from here, a nice impulse up. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C, down here to the 65, perfect, down to the 65. And then we have a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the C. And not just that, let's just take a look and see where this thing landed. I mean, perfect algo target. Algo target was sitting there, 97.70. We rejected off of it, perfect. And then we went down. All right. So what happened from there? Okay. So what happened from there? We went down. We went down in 5 waves also. Okay, we went down in 5 waves. So you see these 5 waves, these impulse waves are perfect. We have a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 5, which I believe is another 1. All right, so I think we're doing some nested 1, 2, 1, 2 here. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a big 1, A, B, C, a big 2. Then we've got a little 1. We worked on creating a little 2 all the way up here. Okay, so this does seem to be a pretty good technical pivot up here so far. We've got a nice sell-off here. So now what we're expecting to see, okay, this is going to be the important part. Okay, because when you're looking at a wave 3, and we're working on a wave 3 right now, in my opinion. Okay, again, we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. We're working on a wave 3 inside of a wave 3. Okay. So we've got this larger wave 2 going down for the wave 3, and then we've got this little wave 2 going down for a smaller wave 3. So our target's to the downside. Let's just take a look at this, because if this is true, we need to start seeing some selling off. We need to see sell-offs coming fast. We cannot overtake 9,400. Like, I think we can go a little bit higher up here, but again, just kind of taking a look at this, we've got this guy down here. We've got a pull up here to the upside. Let's just get this. We came down to the 786. We hit the 236 perfectly right there, almost to the tick. 93.9850. Okay, that's a negative 236 extension. That is perfect, and we have gone down since then. So right now this looks good, okay? And yesterday we were talking about this on Discord, and I said, we've got a nice little channel here. We're still trading in the upper half of this channel, right? I would feel better if we got into the lower half. If we get to the lower half, very, very likely we're going to come all the way back down to about 90.50, okay? We've been consolidating up here for a long, long time, okay, guys? We've been talking about this. We've talked about counts. We've talked about all of that. But one way or another, we continue to see a higher low, a higher low. We're continuing to see consistent higher lows, and we're also seeing a lower high, a lower high. And did we just create another lower high? Again, I still think it's very possible we make one more little push up, right? One more little push up, that would be okay to go back up to like 94. We can't start closing, anything over an hourly above 9,400. We really need to see some rejections there in order for this to really take hold and really take, move to the downside here. All right. We have already talked about this weakening support that we see here at about 8,900. All right. So we broke down back here on about June 27th. We hit it again. We touched it again back down here on July 2nd. We touched it again a couple days ago on July 5th. That was 2 days ago. Okay. So we've hit it once, we've hit it twice, we've hit it 3 times. I mean, we really need to see some acceleration to the upside in order for us to really have any kind of confidence that we are going to be moving up and out of this. I don't think we are. I don't think we are. I think that it's likely that we make another push for 94, but I do think we're going to get a significant resistance from there, and we're going to be starting to see that big sell-off. One way or another, we have not yet broken and held below this support, right? So we've touched it, and then we almost touched it again. We've gotten close a couple times, right? But we haven't broken down below it yet. We haven't broken down below it yet. We are far from this resistance, which is why I'm questioning if we have just created another potential area of resistance here, right? I'm not ready to say that this is new resistance yet, but what I can say is if we take a look at this from a date and time perspective, if we go from here all the way to over here, we're taking a look at that from 12 days, 1 hour. Okay, so we'll just say 12 days. All right, let's take a look at this again. From here over to here, what do we have? We've got 14 days. How long did we have the first time? So we have from up here, let me just try and get that, to over here. So 8 days, 12 days, 14 days. Very possible this goes to maybe 16 days. That would take us all the way out to July 8th, which is tomorrow. So we're going to make another push tomorrow? It's possible. I'm not going to discount it. I mean, we've seen crazier things. But the first pullback took a short period of time. The next pullback to create a new resistance took a little bit longer. It would make sense for this one to take just a little bit longer. Possible that it's done, right? So it is possible that it's done, and that was 14 days. So we've got all this happening. But again, downside targets, if we start to take out this support level right here, which is pretty important, this support level at 8,900, we'll call it 8,900, is very, very important. If we break down and hold an hourly candle below that, be ready, because our downside target, and I know it's kind of messy down here because I haven't outlined the path for this yet. I do think we're in a 1-2-1-2 scenario, which means we're gonna go lower. First level to the downside is gonna be 7,800, potentially to 7,200. Okay, 7,200, and then beyond that, we could even be going all the way down here to 67 to 6,800. Okay, so be ready for that, right? Don't be caught by surprise if that does happen. You've got a lot of people that are very, very anxious for movement to the upside. I know I've got a lot here, but let's just pay attention to that 618. Okay, so I'm going to remove some of this just to kind of get a little more space on here. We'll move this over to out here. That's going to be support. We've got these support, all of these resistance. These are important. These three to the upside, these three to the downside. Whichever one breaks and holds first is going to be the one that is going to cause the domino effect. But coming down to the 50 is likely. Coming down to the 618 is very, very possible. Very, very possible. I'm looking for this wave 5 to come all the way down here. And then it means we're going to have a wave 4 up here and a wave 3 down here. Okay, which means that we're in a 1, 2, and then we're going to get this 3 down here, this 4 up here, and then we go down for the 5. Okay, so the 5. Maybe it creates a little bit of a bounce there at the 7,700 level. This isn't going to go straight down. I know that very, very frequently we do see Bitcoin do things where things do move in one direction. They go straight there. Possible that that happens, right? But more than likely we're going to see a little bit of a cascading, a wave down, a wave up, and a wave down, and then a little bit of consolidation. Then it's going to break down and hit our target before it moves up and out. I am bullish long term on this, but as a trader I have to see some of the indicators, and I do think we are getting close to finally making a decision on what direction we're going to be moving. And again, I see on the hourly, I saw way up here, we had our waves that was saying, hey, we're hitting the top. If we see this 12-hour continue to move up here into overbought territory, and the 1 hour gets into overbought territory, and maybe the 3-hour curls and starts moving up as well, yeah, this is looking real good for a short position. Looking real good. Again, just taking a look historically at the waves indicator. Let's just take a look at this just to outline the importance of this. And again, if you're on Discord, you know that you can have access to this waves indicator. We had a good buy signal back here to accumulate. The 12-hour wasn't quite there yet. When the 12-hour got down there, we had some bullish divergence on the 3-hour. And even if you did buy down here, you had an opportunity to take profit. Okay. Let's go back and take a look at again. The last time we had this happen right here, we had a major bounce, right? So we had a major bounce down here, buying at 89. You had the opportunity to sell at 10,400, if you were to, get in up there. And prior to that, we've outlined this numerous times in the past, but historically speaking, when you have these green indicators, you have a run up after it. Another green right here, you had a little bit of a run up there. You've got these pushes that you can sell into. So you had an opportunity to buy right here, and you had a nice sell opportunity. A nice buy down here, and you had a good sell opportunity, and a rebuy and a sell. We've got all of these things. So are we going to come down to 67? I think we probably will. I think it's going to take some time. But I think that quarter 3, I think is going to be a slow bleed. Quarter 3, I think, is going to be a slow bleed. There's going to be some chop along the way. I think if you're playing any options, which I don't play options in crypto, but if you're playing any options in crypto, man, this is just killing you. It's just killing you. If you're playing options, you're just getting murdered with time decay if you're playing options. But at any rate, I do think that we are working on a 1, 2, 1, 2, which means we should go for a 3, 4, 5 into a 3, then go into a 4, an ABC into a 4, and then we go down for the kill down here at 67, and that is where I think probably we're going to see this thing move down into. Does this look like distribution? If we take a look at volume and volume alone, we did have a little bit of a blow off top up here. It wasn't a significant amount of volume. It was the most buying volume that we've seen on an hourly candle. If we go to say, let's go to Bitfinex. Let's go to BTC USD on Bitfinex. Let's just analyze this on a daily time frame and see what we've got to see if we can say that this was any amount of distribution. Oops, let's get this back over to that. Move this over, and I suppose probably I'll want to move to a lower time frame. Let's move to a 4-hour and take a look at this. We want to take a look at this guy up here. We did have a significant amount of buying there. Back here we had a significant amount of buying to mark up the price. we had a sell-off here. This claimed support. So, this is, and we must have outlined this a long time ago. I haven't looked at this chart in a while. We did outline this a while back, and this is going to continue to be a good support and resistance cluster. So if we are in a 1 2 1 2, so again, if I may just for a moment just outline this for a second, looking at this, and we talked about this being a 1 2 and then a smaller 1 A B C into a 2, right? A 1 2 1 2, we should be moving down here, and that would make sense for this to be a 3 4 5. Count this as support, come and try and bounce out of there, find this now as resistance, and then we move ourselves down and out of here. Okay, I do believe that this is going to become resistance, and I do think we will probably retest this as resistance after we break through it. I'm just looking back here. Again, we're on a 4-hour time frame, and that I drew that pretty well. I think that level there at about 89 is going to be significant resistance once we do break down below it. Okay, so expect the bearish retest. All right, a lot of you guys get into a bias. You think that the price is just going to move in one direction, and market ranges like 80% of the time. We range. We don't have significant moves. When it moves, you got to take advantage of the upper, the lower of the range and trade it that way. Unless you are willing to hold on to a position, as I know that there's somebody on our Discord server that has been holding on to their position for a long time. They're short from 10,300, and I think they're going to hold on to that until we realize that lower target. But if you're trading this, I mean, don't hold for the moonshot. Don't hold for the fall into oblivion. Okay, you want to be diligent, because the market does range quite a bit, and it's intended to chop you out of your position. So again, we've had resistance here, support, resistance, support, 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 keeps hitting that over and over and over, and it will break down. And then when it comes back, we should see that as resistance. And again, that's going to be at 89. And we're looking for the low side target of about 64. It's a little low, but I do think it'll get there. Maybe it'll stop at 7. We will evaluate when we get there, because again, we trade, right? We're not oracles, we're not prophets. We don't know exactly where things are going to go. But what I can say is that we will be seeing lower prices more than likely. So we will trade and we will see what everything looks like then. For right now, a lot of stuff looks overbought, and it does look like it wants to pull back down, even if it just pulls down into its range, right? So if we take a look at the volume profile, we can see we're trading below the acceptable range here. And if we zoom out, let's just take a look and see what this looks like, going all the way back to our high top up there. We're currently trading below where the accepted value of Bitcoin is, which is at about 97. So we're trading below that. We spent a lot of time trading above it up here. We broke down. We're trading below it. We tried to push above it. We didn't make it. We pushed down. Now we're trying to push above it some more, and we're more than likely going to push down into these levels. The bottom of this range is sitting here at about 75, 76. Once we get there, we'll evaluate to see what happens. I'll probably hedge down there. All right, I'm going to do another video here in just a little bit, probably this evening. I want to do a video update on all of the alts, because I think alts are doing very well. Alts are doing very well. Bitcoin dominance is going down, which is really, really good for alts. That means alts are going to be doing well compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance goes down, alts go up. I can see ourselves easily moving back down to 62%. Right now we're at 64%. Move this to the daily, and let's just take a look at this. We've been outlining this. I think there will be a point in time where we do see a big run up on this, right, where alts are going to bleed again. But for right now, very possible that this just completed a 1, 2, 3, working on the 4 to come down to 60%. Then we go up to 80% on Bitcoin. So again, I expect this potentially come down here to about 60%, then move ourselves up to 80% Bitcoin dominance, which is going to be decimating for altcoins. So just be ready for that. We're seeing decreasing volume, as you can see here on the Bitcoin dominance. So just expect it, right? Expect the unexpected, and right now everybody's expecting alt season. Alt season, just in case you're not familiar, is when Bitcoin dominance just falls and falls and falls. This right here in 2017 was alt season, right? That was alt season. This right here in 2017, early 2017, was our first alt season, right? First alt season, second alt season, and now we're basically having alt bleed, alt bleed, alt bleed, and then potentially some more alt bleed. Only thing that we've got going for us is that there's a lot more alts today than there was back then. 2017 was the year of the alts, but we're seeing continued resistance here. I do believe that there is ABC, ABC, A, B, C, working ourselves down here to 60% Bitcoin dominance. From there, I think that we will see a nice uptick, which is going to hurt alts. It's going to transfer wealth. Be ready for it, okay? Don't get too cocky because it's not time for the alt season yet. It will come, but it's not here yet. At this rate, it may not happen until 2021 or 2022 before the real alt season comes. So just be ready for that. Yeah, alts are doing real good right now. I think they're going to continue to do really good, but for right now, just don't get caught in that bias where I'm just going to hold and I'm going to make a ton of money. Okay. Because if you just hold and you never sell, then you never really made anything, and you have the very good opportunity, or not opportunity, but possibility, you're just going to give it all back to the market. Okay, I think I'm done for now, so apologize for talking for too long here. Went for about 20 minutes. So if this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And of course, if you want access to our Discord, throw in a comment in the YouTube chat, and I'll be more than happy to get an invite code out to you. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, good evening. Stay happy, stay healthy, take care, and